calling to order the City Council meeting of the City of Lathrup Village, and I ask the City Clerk to take roll call, please.
Mayor Garrett.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Present.
Councilmember Brock. Councilmember Ferguson. And Councilmember Stallings.
Present.
Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I invite everyone to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we approve the agenda, does anyone want to make a motion to excuse both Frank Brock and Ian Ferguson?
Make a motion to.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are officially excused. So now we will do the approval of the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to remove item 5F, approval of the minutes of the ZBA meeting. That doesn't apply to us
Okay, well, this time.
this time.
No, but I make a motion that we accept. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Tell me if there was any discussion.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda has been approved. Is that both for the agenda and for the consent agenda?
Yes. Did they vote on the approval of the agenda already?
They did.
For the agenda, but now we need one for the consent agenda.
Okay. We need a motion for the consent.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or anything that needs to be discussed?
Nope.
Alrighty, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Now I consider the approval of disbursement and investment reports. First one is going to be the period from June 1st, 2018 to June 15th, 2018, in the total amount of $46,836.08.
I'll make a motion to approve the disbursement report for 6/1 to 6/15/2018 for $46,836.08.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First one is approved. Second one, disbursement report. It's a period covering from June 16th, 2018 to June 30th, 2018 in the amount of $605,963.37. That's too high of an amount for me to say.
I make a motion that we accept that disbursement report, period covered from 6/16 to 6/30/2018. In the amount of $605,963.37.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any questions or concerns, discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Second disbursement report is approved. The last one is for the city annual investment report, the period ending June 30th, 2018. And I don't have the actual amount
don't
right
have
there.
it?
Yes.
Well, I'll make a motion that do we need to discuss it? Okay.
No, I mean, it's up to you.
Unless you have questions.
I have no questions, so I make a motion that we accept the city annual investment report, period ending 6/30/2018.
I'll second that.
Moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries, or they're approved. Now do the consideration of the acceptance of the departmental reports.
I will make a motion to consider the acceptance of the department reports.
Second.
Moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? They have been accepted. 8 o'clock. Okay, so this is a time in our meeting where this is for public comments, and these are for items that's not on our agenda right now. First one up is going to be the introduction of Dr. Jennifer Martin Green, the superintendent of Southfield Public Schools. Welcome.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor to be here with you this evening, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the Board of Education. The leadership of the Southfield Public Schools is committed to creating all schools as schools of excellence and all students successful learners. We are in the process of revitalizing our career and technical education programs, as well as increasing our post-secondary options for all of our students. With me this evening, I have Mr. John Dignan, our Director of Post-Secondary Options, as well as Ms. Paulette Gardner, the Senior Executive Assistant for the district, and we are looking forward to partnering with you throughout this school year to ensure that all of our students are successful in the upcoming school year and throughout their college and career readiness.
Thank you. There's been a change of any changes of people. I just know that some of the titles seem like that.
The titles have become very lengthy, and we are still learning them all. In terms of leadership in the district, there have been no personnel changes at this time or principal positions. However, we would like to invite the community out on tomorrow. We are interviewing the 2 final candidates for principal of Southfield A&T High School. The first candidate will speak at 5:30 and the second candidate will speak at 6:30, and we invite the community to provide us with feedback on the candidate of their choice.
Where would that take place?
That will take place in the auditorium at Southfield A&T High School.
I think it was a while ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, we used to have a student representative that would come to every third Monday meeting to give us a summary of basically what was going on in Southfield Public Schools. That was about two or 3 years ago.
We will arrange for that to happen once again, and we are also looking forward to having a joint meeting, if possible, with our Board of Education as well as the City of Southfield's Council as well.
Yeah, that would be great. It would be great to kind of work together a little bit more. I mean, I've been on council for 6 months, and to me, it's been like a black box.
And we're not going to
But-
attack you.
right,
on
no,
the
I'm
first
not-
day, we're not going to attack you.
This is minor in comparison.
Right.
However,
So look forward to that.
we
is what
are
I'm saying.
definitely, one of my first goal is rebuilding the relational trust with all stakeholders.
Yeah.
I have been in the community 7 days per week, in the evenings, on the weekends, working to regain the confidence of the community. So that is one of our first priorities.
And that is
great.
one of mine, and I think I'm going to speak on behalf of the council and the residents, that it just doesn't seem like Lathrup was really involved in Southfield Public Schools planning and just being involved, period. And I know what the percentage is of our students or our kids that go to Southfield Public Schools. I think if we want to try to change that, we need to partner somehow, some way, and
Absolutely.
work together.
Without the collaborative responsibility of all stakeholders, our children cannot be successful.
Right.
So we look forward to that as
Thank
well.
you.
We're very, we did have a huge meeting where we were all invited, and it was very nicely done, but there was no other communication. I'm just reiterating what was already said. We're very interested in working with you in our city.
And
Just to-
we thank you and we accept that and will work with you moving
Very
forward.
good, very good.
Okay, make sure I have your phone number. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've already passed along my information to the police chief as well as Dr. Mitchell, and I will make certain that we schedule some time so that we can sit down
Thank
and
you.
discuss
Good.
the
I
goals of
appreciate
the
that.
city.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Peggy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that,
Anyone else?
oh no, you're under the actual, never mind, sorry, I have to give you the eyeball. I'm sorry. Let me look. So if there are no more comments, we don't have a public hearing, so we'll go straight to the action request. First one. I'm going to lean on city administrator to introduce it. No?
Okay.
I-
Well,
I thought I had something in here, but it's not.
well, you have the proclamation in
That's
the
it.
binder. Oh, you mean the summary in regards to it?
Yeah, I thought it was something else to it. But if it's not, don't worry about it.
It may have been emailed separately.
I think so.
But the Crime Stoppers of Michigan, as I understand it, has been very active in our community for several years and most helpful in identifying the causes of crime. So they're here today in celebration of their, is it your anniversary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
25 years.
Yes. And you have a proclamation there to make a presentation in appreciation of their work in the community and applauding them on the celebration of their 25 years.
Did you want me to read the entire proclamation?
No, I don't think so. No, but that's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. You have it from.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's very nice. Can I just address your group, everyone?
Sure,
please?
absolutely.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so very much. We are celebrating 25 years, and on behalf of the staff of Crime Stoppers, and we're right here in Southfield, we appreciated very much the honor that you have provided us with this proclamation. We will continue. We work with your chief and many other chiefs in Southeast Michigan. We work in 7 counties in Southeast Michigan, and all our role is to support our law enforcement folks, both at the federal, state, and local level. And I assured your chief and you that we will continue to do so. Happy to tell you that in the last 5 years, Crime Stoppers of Michigan, we're an anonymous alternative, if you will, to silence. We've taken in over 25,000 anonymous calls. Not one of those callers has ever been identified, and we've paid out over $450,000 worth of rewards. So we will continue to do that, and we really appreciate the opportunity to receive this proclamation from the city of Lathrup Village. So thank you.
Thank you. I think you have one of our. Isn't that still part of Crime Stoppers? The floral. The guy who got killed. That was a floral.
The florist.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you?
I think they're still under Crime Stoppers. But,
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you. Now, I'll ball you again. Next, we have a presentation, second annual Back to School Jam in support of the SOS Community Program. Pastor Jones.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just like to thank you for having us on your program on this evening. And I'm just here to talk just briefly about our back to school rally, which will be held on August the 18th. I have a pamphlet for
Thank you.
And in the pamphlet, we'll give you the details of what we will be doing. We've partnered with SOS. We've been in the neighborhood here for about a year and a half, and SOS is South Oakland Shelters. And so last year we serviced about 65 families. We provided backpacks. We serviced them, the youth. We gave them provided food, fun, fellowship, face painting. This year, we're going to expand it a little bit further. We're going to have information on bullying. We'll have a medical checkup, like, checking the high blood pressure and all of that. So each year, it gets a little bigger. This year, we'll be servicing more of the families from SOS. So again, when we first arrived here in Lathrup Village, we said that we will keep you updated on some of the things that we are doing in the community. Thank you, Mayor Jarrett, for coming and being a part of our service at checking in on us. Council member Donna Stallings coming to check on us, and I'm quite sure that a number of the other staff will be coming to check on us and see how we're coming along. And we're just really excited to work with you all. Bruce Canton, we'd like to, have you to come on over and be our special guest one Sunday. But we're excited to work with Lathrup Village. We're asking each and every one of you to please come out, see what's going on August the 18th. If you want to come, put on your gym shoes and your blue jeans and come and help serve a hot dog to some of the people. We would love for you to do that. And I have one other thing too that I did discuss that we will be doing. This is an awesome event that will take place in September the 22nd. We really want Lathrup Village to be a part of it. I have the point gentleman that is here with me to talk briefly on it, and it's called Convoy of Hope. I do have some pamphlets right here. I'm going to pass that out to you real quick. It's going to be one of the largest events, outreach events that probably have ever taken place that have hit Detroit, and we will be servicing anywhere from 10 to 15,000 people. This is Pastor Art Lutley, and he's going to give you a little bit more detail on that event that will take place in September. Pastor Art?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Pastor Scotty Jones invited me, and I really have worked together for Lathrup Village, with Lathrup Village on several events. This is a collaborative event of a number of greater Detroit communities that come together in Detroit for an opportunity in districts 5, 6, and 7 to be able to minister to or work with a community event that touches around 10,000 community residents. We provide a community event which engages them in opportunities for what you see in the brochure with community collaborative services with the veterans, Job Corps, and a number of community district educational opportunities that they can be involved in for after-school mentoring, a lot of things like that. It's like a catalytic event where people come together in a community context. So there's food and there's groceries and there's haircuts and family portraits and things to do for the kids. All that's happening, but it's a catalyst so that our veterans, Job Corps, DPSCD, a lot of other people are inside of the event, meeting people and engaging them in what the community does best. So the quick, short version of it, we have the brochure there. It'll just tell you a little bit about the event. We love the collaboration. We love Lathrup Village. We've done events with you together. This one happens to be together in Detroit. We've done this before 3 times. We worked with over 30,000 residents of Greater Detroit, including Lathrup Village, and we're thanking you for the opportunity to share a little bit about it.
Thank you. I'll volunteer for it. This is on
September
Grand-
22nd.
Yeah, this is on off of Grand Boulevard?
Yes, it's adjacent to Northwestern High
Yes,
School.
Northwestern High School, right next to it.
Okay. I'll just fill this out and give it to you?
Oh, beautiful.
Or do
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
think that you could
Yes,
remember
This will be
me?
great for Lathrup Village. It'll be great.
And what's the time on the August 18th event? Is that-
August the 18th, that will be at 10 o'clock.
Is this the one that also has the 5K, or is that something different that SOS is doing?
No, that's different.
Okay.
This is just an outreach arm that we're doing. Our church decided to partner with SOS, and but remember the last meeting that we had, we said that we want to partner with Lathrup Village, so you guys are involved with this as well.
Okay. I'll double check my calendar on that
All
one
right.
before I say I'll volunteer, because
Well, you know I'm in, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever we can do
All
for the
right.
community, I'm in. So we'll talk later, but that's very excellent. So the district, just out of curiosity, not that it, 5, 6, and 7, is that where your fellowship, where your church is in that area?
No, we have several churches in that area. There's actually 150 with 21 in the area that are actually sponsoring that. The Point Church is Bishop Andrew Merritt's.
Excellent,
Straight Gate
excellent,
International,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Great Faith and all of those
Yep,
ministries.
absolutely.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of work over there with those ministries. That's excellent. So whatever we can do.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for having us.
All right.
so it looks like I'm in for that one too. I don't have
So,
anything on my calendar.
I believe Southfield is having their back to school event on the 26th.
No, actually, our back-to-school fair is on Saturday, August 11th, from
Okay.
10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that will
Okay.
be hosted on the football field of Southfield A&T High School.
Okay, August 11th. Okay.
Yes, and we invite all to come out and
All right.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
said, what was the time?
From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
on Saturday, August 11th, and that will be on the football.
That day. I just wanted that mentioned.
Yes, please, and
Okay.
I thank you for that.
Okay, all right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
will see you soon.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Do we have all your information?
Yes, I will provide some additional information.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So you're gonna volunteer with me? Thank you, appreciate it. Nice of you to do that too, Yvette. All three of us volunteering. That's great. Thanks for volunteering. I'll put your names.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next up is going to be the motion to adopt the City of Lathrup Village Capital Improvement Plan. Who would like to present that?
I can. Mayor and Council, as you may recall, the Planning Commission had met and they had a subcommittee which included Bruce Cantor, council member, as well as staff, in identifying the infrastructure needs of the community for the next coming 5 to 6 years. And from that data collection, they have made a presentation and draft recommendation to the Planning Commission. They did have the public hearing in June, and now what you have before you is their recommendations for the adoption of the capital improvements for the coming 5.5 years, yes. 2018 to 2023.
Thank you. I need to have a motion.
I will make a motion that we accept and adopt the capital improvement plan for 2018 through 2023.
And I'll second that.
So moved and second. Is there any discussion? Anything you would like to add?
Talked about it already. So.
Okay. Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is the discussion or approval for the market agreement with Utility Service Partners, Private Label, Inc., doing business as Service Line Warranties of America.
Mayor and Council, we have a representative from the organization, Mike Chambers. He's the Regional Account Manager for Utility Service Partners. If we may permit him to make a presentation in regards to this program that could be made available to our residents if you confirm it.
Thank you very much, Mayor, members of council, and city staff. I do appreciate you allowing me a few minutes tonight to come here and tell you a little bit more about the National League of Cities Service Line Program and how it can benefit the residents here in Lathrup Village. My name is Mike Chambers. I'm with Utility Service Partners, and we are the administrator of the NLC Service Line Program. Just to give you a little bit of a background, the reason the National League of Cities has gotten involved with this type of program is they understand that infrastructure in the United States is just getting older and older, especially when it comes to with water and sewer lines. And one of the big issues is while cities and villages are doing their part to maintain their main water and sewer lines, you have these miles and miles of lines that are on the residents' property that really no one thinks about. And a lot of times when the resident has a frozen water line and it breaks or their sewer line gets plugged with tree roots, their first call is to the city. You guys will send out one of the workers, make sure your line's working properly. 99% of the time your line's fine because you're doing the upkeep on it. And then you're stuck to tell Mr. and Mrs. Resident, hey, we found the issue, the blockage is on your side, you're gonna have to get a contractor out to fix it. Most residents don't even realize they're responsible for these water and sewer lines until they have an issue, so a lot of times they think the city's going to prepare it for them, so that kind of puts you in the bad position to be the bearer of bad news. So that's where this program comes in. It has two goals. First off is it's an educational program. It's a free public awareness campaign to let residents know about water and sewer lines, how they're their responsibility and some things they can do to keep them free flowing. And then secondly is to give them a way to transfer that risk from themselves over to the NLC program through a low-cost monthly warranty. For the city, this is a fully turnkey program. We handle all the marketing, all the billing, all the customer service, and all the claims. There's no cost or anything for you guys to participate as well. Now, as for the residents, if they choose to enroll in the optional program, they get a full coverage of their water and or sewer line. In the case of the water line, it'll cover everything from where it enters their house all the way to where it connects to the curb stop. Anything from frozen lines, leaking lines, broken lines is all repaired for them. In the case of the sewer line, once again, it runs from the point of entry to the house all the way to the city main. And this will cover everything from a simple clean out of tree roots or something gets flushed down there all the way up to a full replacement of the line. The water line warranty runs $6.49 per month for the resident, and the sewer line warranty runs $8.49 per month, and there's no service fees or deductibles or anything like that. Now, when the resident does have an issue, all they have to do is make one call to us. We have a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week service center that always answers with a live person. They will file the claim, and then we'll dispatch a local licensed contractor to make the repair. That's another big benefit of the program as well, is we only use local area contractors to do all the work. Helps to keep the dollars here in the community, but more importantly, the local contractors know what the codes are here. They're going to pull the permits and make sure everything's done the way the city wants them to be. As for the way the program is made available, it's all done through a direct mail educational mailer. We don't do any telemarketing or door-to-door sales or anything like that. Typically twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall, we'll mail a letter out to all of your residents, letting them know about the program and that it's available and optional for them to sign up. Before that ever gets mailed to the residents, though, we actually provide it to the city. You guys have an opportunity to review it, make sure all the language is happy for you. And then only once that's approved will we mail it to your residents. Currently, there's around 600 cities across the country participating. There's about 15 here in the local area. A couple communities participating locally: Royal Oak, Berkeley, Huntington Woods, St. Clair Shores, Roseville, and a few others as well. The program has been in effect since 2010. Since 2010, we've paid over $120 million to repair lines across the country, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And we were recently awarded the Torch Award with the Better Business Bureau as well, which is given to the top 5% of businesses with business ethics. So that's kind of the program in a nutshell. I'd like to answer any questions for you.
I think I have my question answered. So once we sign this, you said, how long is it going to take to hit the residents?
Typically, it takes 8 weeks. The majority of that time is we want to recruit the local contractors, so we make sure we have a contractor that's in-house in the program before we mail any letters out. That way, in case we do get a claim, we'll be able to service that as quick as possible. So 8 weeks is typically the mailing. So I would say about the beginning of September, we would have the letters in the mail.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyone have any questions?
No, I think we've already, you mentioned though that, just so that it's clear, Lathrup Village, we have no responsibility for.
That is correct. Yeah, it's basically a partnership with us. We come to the city because we want to make sure that everything your residents are responsible for is covered. So that's when we work with you on the codes to make sure that the coverage is all inclusive, and we want to let you know what we're doing before we would mail anything to your residents.
So we don't have, once our residents sign up for it, do we know who's signing up for it?
You do have reporting. You will see everybody that signed up for the program, all the claims that have happened in the village as well.
Okay.
You also know who the contractors are as well. We'll provide all that for you, and you'll have up-to-date access for that.
Is it separately billed, or does it get billed through our water department, through our water bill?
We try to keep everything separate. That way, when the resident has a problem, they know to call us and not the village or not the city.
And for the benefit of people who aren't here who might be watching, can you talk about the benefits for Lathrup Village again?
Sure, yeah. And then, well, one of the big benefits is the educational portion. There's also a portion of all the revenue that's generated from the program that's shared back with the village. 50 cents per month per product sold will actually come back to the village. And we have some communities that do some cool stuff with that dollars. A couple of them have set up programs for low-income families to help their water bill. One of my communities did their fall festival with the funds, but that's up to the village or city. You guys can do that however you like.
Okay, thank you.
And that's good, and also to make it clear, so that's not just fixing the lines, it'll fix also the landscaping or.
Correct, yeah, we put it back the way it was.
That needs to be fixed.
Correct,
Okay.
and even the street, say, a lot of times with the sewer line, a lot of times that issue's right there at the connection, which can be in the street. If that concrete has to be disturbed, that can be $3,000 or $4,000 just to put that back, so that's covered under the program as well.
And forgive me if you've already mentioned it, but did you mention a general cost?
Yeah, but I can re-mention for sure, that's important. $6.49 for the water line, and then $8.49 per month for the sewer line.
Very good. Thank you.
So Mayor and Council,
Sign me
you
up.
have in your packet the 3-year marketing agreement if you
Thank you.
wish to move
Thank you very
forward
much.
with that adoption.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'd like to make a motion to approve the market agreement with Utility Services Partner Private Label Incorporated.
I second and will sign up tonight. I
Yeah.
second.
I will just say that after reviewing this, I know how you love your early termination clauses. This contract does not contain one.
I thought it
So,
did.
no, it's only if either party's in breach, they have 30 days notice, 30 days to cure. So if they fail to cure the breach within that 30-day period, then the city can get out of the contract. Otherwise, it's a 3-year term with an automatic 1-year renewal.
So has there been any negotiations in that area?
Yeah, if that's an
Okay.
issue, we can add that for you. It's with
Okay.
just 90 days with cause, or not even with our cost. If you give us 90 days, we can add that in there for you. That's not an issue at all. we've had other cities that requested that, so.
Okay,
We tend to like to put those in.
Yeah,
our
makes sense
contract,
for
so.
sure, so, yeah, we can definitely do
makes us
that.
feel better, yeah.
So I can actually, have that changed and provide it to you tomorrow, so.
All right, then let me amend my motion to approve the market agreement with Utility Service Partners, private label, pending the addition of the aforementioned language.
Can I amend my second? I second.
So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It has been approved pending the changes in the contract. Thank you. So now we'll have the second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 50 of peddlers, solicitors, and canvassers.
All right, Madam Mayor, this is, last month we presented this to council first reading. This came up in light of an application that was received. There was some ambiguity on how the city reviews the applications for peddler, solicitor, and canvasser permits. This ordinance revision delineates some standards that both the applicant can look at and use when filling out the application, as well as for the clerk when she's reviewing the application and making a determination whether or not to issue that permit. There was one change from the first reading to the second reading. Council did express a desire to have a cooling off period, so I did add to this ordinance, this proposed ordinance, language that requires any individual whose permit either was revoked, suspended, or denied after a hearing conducted pursuant to the ordinance, they shall wait no less than 30 calendar days from their hearing date before they can reapply. If there's no further questions, we ask for a motion to approve the second reading of this ordinance.
You said how many calendar days to reapply?
30 calendar days.
30 calendar days, okay. Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 78, Utilities, amending Article 4, Sewage Disposal.
You're on the wrong one.
Am I on the
You're-
wrong
you're-
one? I'm like,
yeah,
this
Chapter
doesn't
50.
sound. Okay, thank you. To amend Chapter 50, peddlers, solicitors, and canvassers. I apologize for that.
And I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next thing is the second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 78, Utilities, amending
there we go.
Article 6.
4.
I said, it has nothing to do
I
with
remember
Roman
you saying that, that's
numerals,
why I
you
said
know.
4.
I didn't
What did
have
I
to
say?
know. Forgive me, again. I'll study that later tonight.
All right, so this, Madam Mayor, this amendment is to, as you indicated, Section 78-328B. It deals with violations and penalties for grease interceptors. Specifically, it's raising the fine amount for first offense is punished by a fine of $500. Subsequent violations of this ordinance will be responsible for a fine not less than $1,000. That's double the previous fine amounts that were included in the ordinance.
All right, I'll make a motion for the acceptance and adoption of ordinance for Section 78-328 for grease interceptors violation, to amend the violations and penalties.
I second. This goes back to the issue at
August.
August. Okay, great, yeah, I second.
It's moved and second. Is there any discussion? My question, is there 2 motions that are needed? On mine, I have 2. You see?
No, it's about 1 in the morning when I did it. So.
Just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next, we have Oh, adoption of Oakland County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Mayor and Council, and Chief McKee is here in case you have any detailed questions. But basically, Oakland County is participating with the Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA, relative to the coordination of hazard mitigation plans. It's a 5-year plan with the pre-disaster assistance. It's basically a multi-community assistance program, and it's a very large document. But basically, we're just saying that we're signing on to participate with Oakland County as part of this program.
All righty.
You want me to say anything?
Explain it all to us, no
I wish I could. The document is actually 800 pages long.
No, thank you for
I
sparing it.
have perused it. Basically, what FEMA is requiring is that all of the communities in Oakland County sign this hazard mitigation plan. And as long as we sign it all, if there's some type of natural disaster that happens, and that way we can secure funds from FEMA if
okay.
need be for flooding or tornadoes or what have you. So we're just trying to get it all under one umbrella under Oakland County, then Oakland County then deals with FEMA.
Okay.
Okay?
This is our second time signing this agreement, is that not correct? I believe we did in 2013 as well.
We may have, that was prior to me taking over, so I'm not quite sure.
I think we did.
I think we did also, because we had that flood that a lot of people had to go through FEMA for, you remember?
Actually, I don't think we were in compliance at that time.
Oh, well, never mind.
We will be now.
Wow.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Who would like to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the Oakland County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. The next is the appointment of 2018 Mayor's Conference Officer and Alternate, and Employee and Alternate, and authorization to attend the conference October 4th through the 7th at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel in Grand Rapids.
Mayor and Council, you have the updated communication in front of you, and we were able to have an election relative to the employee delegate and alternate, and those are Officer Charles Becker as the delegate and employee Ken Martin as the alternate. And then we also have selected Pamela Bretsky as the officer delegate and Yvette Talley as the officer alternate for your approval.
Thank you. What's your pleasure, someone?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of the 2018 MERS Conference officers.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries, or they are appointed. Next is the motion to elect members to the MML Work Compensation Fund Board of Trustees.
This is the annual election of the board for the Michigan Municipal League Workers' Compensation Board. There are 3 candidates: Christine Burns from the Village of Spring Lake, Todd Campbell from the City of Saline, and Lee Kilborn from the City of Auburn Hills. And there is a request for the election, for you to vote on the election of these officers.
And we pick 3 of 3, correct?
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you approved or not, still gonna happen.
It's still,
No, exactly.
it's true. So we're ready for a motion.
Yeah, go for it.
To make a motion to elect members to the MML Workers' Compensation Fund Board of Trustees.
I'll second the motion.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City Administrator, what do you have for us?
Well, there's a lot going on in Lathrup Village, so but one thing I do want to mention is that Councilmember Frank Brock has had a a health challenge, but he's on the road to recovery, and our prayers and wishes are with him and his family, and hopes for his speedy recovery and return. The 2018 pavement reconstruction is about to get underway. I just signed the contract to allow to move forward with the contractor, and that, if you recall, involves Roseland and the Rackham Triangle area.
Cheryl, do the residents in that area get notified ahead of time?
They will be getting notifications.
Great.
But as of right now, they have none, they have no idea that it's coming,
Unless they've been watching our meetings.
unless they've been, okay.
Yes,
So we probably need to make that happen.
yes.
Because will any streets be, the streets will be, that we have, but probably.
Right,
to let
and
them
one
know.
of the big challenges in regards to that is helping them to find alternate parking during the construction. So those notices will be going out very soon.
Okay.
Lathrup Village will be celebrating their 65th birthday. The celebration is scheduled for September 8th and 9th, I believe.
Yes.
And there are planning meetings scheduled, the next one being July 30th at 9 a.m., the following one August 13th at 9 a.m., and we welcome participation. The elections are coming on August 6th, 7th, and the clerk is having the training for the precinct inspectors on Saturday. You just had it, on Saturday. Wrote this last week. And I was able to attend the Michigan Municipal Executives Conference this past week, and it was very informative. In fact, I just shared some information with the chief in regards to trauma-informed responses to sexual assaults. So they had a lot of information, and in fact, our planner, Jill, was there as one of the presenters as well on some information in regards to downtown planning. I wanted to make certain that you are aware that Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence is planning to have a coffee hour here in the community room on July 30th, that morning from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. And the farmers market will be held again this Wednesday from 3:30 to 7, followed by the concert in the park at 7. And also our police department is having their community policing meeting at 6 p.m. So it'll be very busy here on Wednesday evening, and they've already received, I think, 50 reservations to attend, so it's very popular, and we're looking forward to having a lot of people here, getting a lot of information and having a lot of fun. And Friday, we will have the food trucks and musicians. Last Friday, there was predictions of thunderstorms, which being Michigan, it passed right by us. But this, no matter what, we'll have it this coming Friday unless there's a tornado warning. And I think that concludes most of the information that I have.
Thank you. City Attorney?
I'll group my city attorney report with the planning commission update. So city attorney report, spoke with Jim Wright, code enforcement officer. I guess the city is continue to have ongoing issues with some of the commercial properties and what they're placing their trash in. Most of them are utilizing dumpsters. We've heard plenty of issues with the dumpsters, but there are some commercial properties that are just putting their trash in bags out at the side of the street. So he's asked, and I'm working on right now, an ordinance revision that would require commercial properties to put their trash bags in either a dumpster or a trash can. They can't just have the bags setting out. Well, hopefully that'll help solve the issues that we're having with trash in the commercial corridor. So that's an ordinance revision that you'll be seeing come up probably next month.
As well as rodents.
Can I ask you a question on that? Because in the area that I'm in, even the residents are putting their bags out, and I'm telling you, it's a mess.
Well, there is
Right,
no
so-
prohibition against resident. Right now, you can
I
put
know
your.
there isn't. My question is, can there be, or should there be? I know there isn't.
It's certainly something that council could discuss, whether or not you're going to want your residents to all put their trash inside of an enclosure. I mean, sometimes you have more trash. Most people have trash cans. Sometimes you have more trash than what will fit in the trash can. You just set the bag beside the trash can. So that's something I think council can talk about during the next study session. But we'll lay out the framework specifically for the commercials if we want, commercial businesses, if we want to extend that for the residential community. That's certainly
Absolutely.
something that we can do.
I definitely would want to. So we'll, okay.
Okay, so, but that'll be coming forward shortly. As far as the Planning Commission update, last month, 2 items primarily took up most of the Planning Commission's time. The first was the capital improvement plan, which you saw this evening and accepted and approved. They conducted the public hearing on that, plus they also had fielded specific questions from department heads and the planner in wrapping that document up into a nice succinct document for the council. Additionally, they conducted what's called a conceptual site plan review. And I believe all council members have already seen this, but it was dealing with the 26727 and 26751 Southfield Road, which is currently the Verizon store and the Health Quest. The individual has purchased that and is proposing to redevelop that as a gas station. So they had a first look at that site plan. They gave some feedback to the applicant on just their initial quick look at it and their feelings on that. The applicant, as I indicated, did come to council, began addressing the necessity of having a licensing agreement for use of the public alley there as part of their development, and that's something that we're continuing to work with the applicant on. And I will note that I did speak with Ken this week. He has reminded the applicant's attorney that they were to provide certain information to council about their other locations, some photos and addresses, so that council could take a look at some of the other businesses that they currently operate. To my knowledge, he hasn't received anything yet, but he did ask again this week. So, and that's pretty much it. We again talked about, last thing we talked about at the Planning Commission was the continued zoning ordinance update, looking for other areas. We just recently did the referendum and the cell towers, and now we're looking for vision clearances and fences. That's something that council will probably see.
And sheds as well, right?
And sheds, yeah, something that council will see shortly.
Hey, thank you. So was that was the planning commission, or do you?
That was
have-
No,
12
I was
12
on
and 13A.
vacation. I was on
Okay,
vacation, so
okay.
Scott filled in for me.
And
on
so then to the LV 65, kind of
I pretty much
already
shared
took care of
already.
that?
Yep.
Is there any unfinished or new business you'd
I
like
have
to?
one thing.
So back, I think it was the
1 or 2 council meetings before the election, there was a approval of a liquor license for Honey Tree with various stipulations as to how the property would be improved. And I believe the deadline for those improvements was sometime in mid-July. I walked the property today, and they have improved the property, but they have not improved all of the items, especially the biggest one, which was all the dead bushes that were in front of the property. They cut the weeds in the garden beds, but they didn't remove or kill the weeds, so they're just going to grow back. So I don't know what our process is for following up on that, but I'm just bringing it to the council's attention.
And I do believe there's been a follow-up very recently in regards to the maintenance of the property, but I'll make certain that they are very well aware of the
Yeah,
concerns.
they have improved it. It looks nice, but those are some of the bigger things that the planning commission had stipulated, and those haven't been taken care of. Maybe they're in the process of doing it,
Okay.
but I know their deadline is either passed or coming up.
They
so.
had something on the table, they took it off the table, so maybe now some things have changed, so they probably are going to be taking care of that, because they are moving forward with the liquor license now, right?
That's my understanding.
Right, so they'll take care of it, but our city manager will follow up on it, I'm sure.
That's all I have.
Any other?
I wanted to mention just briefly a SIMCOG meeting that I wanted to just, I was amazed at the meeting that I attended on June 28th, that SIMCOG had something called TAP funding, where all of these communities were getting grants to improve, to build bicycle lanes and all kinds of things. So what I've asked SIMCOG to do, they want to come into Lathrup Village and just take a tour so that they can start working with us and making suggestions and becoming more intricately involved in our development and the way that we're going with like the other cities. But there's so many grants. They have over 1,200 grants that are available that they'll give us access. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm just fighting something. Grant finders. I participate in their Future Skill Task Force where they brought together all kinds of educators that are talking about how do we get our young people educated and prepared for the workforce. I talked to a young man, the man from Lawrence Tech, who knew you, Cheryl, to come over and also talk to us about getting Lathrup Village more involved in the community, into the college aspect, so that we could just highlight and bring some more visibility to young people. So anyway, that SIMCOG meeting just turned out to be very informative, very informational, and we can really just tap into some of their resources. So I'll be bringing those to you as they come along. But the one thing I wanted to ask is, do we want a tour? When do we want them to come over and tour? Should I just set that up with you?
Yes, that would be good.
Okay.
And we can work out a date.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. Very interesting. So, and then lastly, we will be having Shred Truck Day on September 15th. There's some information that'll be going out to the community September 15th from 1 to 5 or 6, I think about 5 o'clock. So we're happy that AARP is coming back with their truck, and we're glad to sponsor that. So that's September 15th. That's all I have.
Madam.
Yes,
I have something.
go ahead.
Thank you. Just like to remind everybody about the election. It's going to be held on August 7th. Here are 2 precincts are downstairs in the community room. Polls will open at 7 a.m., close at 8 p.m. And that will be Tuesday, August 7th. On August the 4th, so if you'd like an absent voter ballot, stop by the office anytime between 8 and 4:30 and show me your picture ID, and I can give you a ballot at that time. Also on August 4th, that's the last day that I can mail absent voter ballots. So if you have or want one, please request it by then, before August 4th, from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. That's on a Saturday. I'll be here. The clerk's office will be open. If you'd like to come in and pick up your ballot, you can do so. If you'd like to bring it in, you can do that as well. One more date I need to give you, which will be Monday, August the 6th, from 8 a.m. until 4. That's the very last day I can issue absent voter ballots. But if you come into the office the day before the election, you have to vote your ballot in the office. And again, that time frame is from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. So I'm looking forward to August 7th, and I hope to see you on Election Day, if not before. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have anything either, so I'll take a motion for.
So moved.
Second.
Well, we are considered adjourned. Thank you.